We haven't done a Bible study in a hot minute, and I feel like God is telling me to, so let's read a few verses. I've been reading on my own, and I have my Bible bookmarked to a certain page where I left off. And I think this was actually somewhere we were reading in FCA a few weeks ago. The verses I was reading are Hebrews 3, 8 through 11. And those say, "Today, if you hear his voice, do not harden your hearts as in the rebellion, on the day of testing in the wilderness, where your fathers put me to the test, and saw my works for 40 years. Therefore I was provoked with that generation, and said, They always go astray in their heart, they have not known my ways. And I swore in my wrath, they shall not enter my rest." Now, as you might have guessed, this passage is talking about when God sent Moses and his people out into the wilderness for 40 years because they were complaining. And the reason why my head snagged on this verse was because it said, "Today, if you hear his voice, do not harden your hearts." Because how many times have I done that? How many times have we done that where we hear God speaking to us and he's clearly telling us something and we know it, like we feel it in our hearts, and we just do nothing? Or we make excuses like, "Oh, well, maybe he's not talking to me. Maybe it's not the right time. Maybe I'm just overthinking this." I actually have a story to tell about this exact incident. So when I was in, I think, freshman year, I was walking through the hall and I saw one of my old teachers, and he was kind of looking glum, looking depressed. And then I felt something tell me, God telling me, "Go over to him and ask him if you can pray for him. It'll mean the world to him." But then that other voice fought back and it was like, "Oh, but that's going to be so anxiety inducing. You're going to be bothering him. It's not that big of a deal. Maybe it's just not for you. Why should you be the one to talk to him? You're in no place to do that." And so I just kind of let it be, and I just walked by him until he was out of my line of view. And I still feel bad about it, because I figured out this year that that same teacher has always thought Christians were horrible people because of the way he was brought up and the church environment he was in. In this part, God is talking about the Israelites wandering in the desert, but what if it could also be a parody for our lives today? We might not be physically wandering through a desert, but what if our spirits are wandering? Because we're not listening to what God's saying, we're not heeding his words enough, and therefore we're not experiencing the full beauty of what God's planned for our lives. All the people God tells us to help, there's a reason, and all the things God tells us to do, there's a reason. I mean, he's God. So that moment just revealed to me that every time I hear God's voice, I should listen. Thank you guys so much. God bless you, and bye.